I'm trying. Are you there?
Oh, yes. Oh,
Hello.
my goodness, I
Ah,
don't
I'm here,
believe.
finally.
Yes, do you have time to
Okay.
go through yours before you run across
I
town?
do.
Okay, let's
Okay.
do it.
Okay.
Okay,
So we'll go through some of these slides fast. So I'll just hit slide and you advance them, okay?
you betcha.
All right. What I learned from this class. I hope all of you have seen the movie Princess Bride because I am using it as my basis for what I'm going to talk about today. And it's kind of a classic, and I had it memorized years ago, and I kept coming back to a scene where they were about to storm the castle, and Wesley says, what are our liabilities, and what are our assets? And every time I kept coming to dealing with things in this class, and I kept thinking, what are our assets, I kept hearing it in the words of these actors in this thing. So I decided to wrap that around my presentation as to what I actually learned in this class based on that. Next slide, please. So we're trying to storm the castle, and the question is, what are our assets? And Inigo's response is, your brains, Fezzik strength, and my steel. And it turns out they also had a wheelbarrow, and that's Inigo Montoya storming the castle. And so I thought about that. Next slide, please. And I thought, well, our brains, okay, that is our knowledge and our experience. Both my husband and I are DVMs. We both have degrees in animal sciences. And we have 30 years of experience. So that should be plenty of asset in that way. Fezzik strength, I thought that would be represented by the strength of our property. We have land, we have animals, and they create this very strong foundation of an ecosystem. And then my steel, being the sword that Inigo uses, and it's the drive. The sword is always presented as something which cuts. And that's our drive to create something better. And then there was also the wheelbarrow. And the wheelbarrow, I decided, represented all of the various tools that we have collected over the years here on this farm, our various tractors and little plows and all of those kinds of things. Next slide, please. But what are our liabilities? There is but one working castle gate, and it is guarded by 60 men. Next slide. Well, what is a castle gate? Well, those are the solid things that you simply can't avoid dealing with. The things like taxes and accident liabilities and risk and what we're just talking about, unemployment insurance. That's a castle gate. You can't deal with them. They are solid. They're firm. Then there's the 60 soldiers. Well, you can kind of scare off the 60 soldiers, and that's what they ultimately did. And I realized that the 60 soldiers were the liabilities that are in our mind. Things like our failure to adequately plan, our failure to follow through with our plans when we make them, our failure to do adequate paperwork, and the last one, next slide please, my significant aversion to self-aggrandizing advertising. And if you remember, Vizzini said, I am so smart, I am smarter than all those other people, and actually he wasn't. Next slide. So then I had to ask the next question in the play or in the movie was all about true love. The whole movie was about true love. And I asked, so what is my true love? What is that thing that just makes my soul sing and my heart beat? And my true love is taking care of animals. I love to take care of animals. And I think that my husband, who's also a DVM, I think would say the same thing. That this is our true love. This is our passion. Next slide, please. Oh, and I wanted to say something about true love. And that is that, honestly, when you look at the holistic goal, what the holistic goal is truly about is our true love. The holistic goal is simply our way of coming up with what it is in our lives that we love, what it is about our family, about the ecosystem we live in, about the animals we care for, about the soil that we care for. That is our true love. And that's also our holistic goal. So if we key into what our true love is, then we already have a long way down our holistic goal. Then I had to ask, what is the soul-sucking thing that places me into the pit of despair? And that is, next page, please, next slide, financial record keeping. Because I don't like it and I am bad at it, I go into aversion mode, and so I don't do it. And because we don't follow plans and we don't follow through with our plans, we waste time and we waste money spinning our wheels. And because I hate to advertise, I feed too many animals through the winter. That's a big problem. I don't get the animals sold at the right time, and I end up feeding them through the winter, which means that the animals are eating our profits. And all of that comes back to my total aversion to getting things on paper. So next slide, please. I had to realize when I was taking this course that some people are better at different things than other people. And this really came to the fore with me when listening to Barbara Leachman, because when she talked about doing financial paperwork and such, she was having so much fun. She was having a great time. She loved talking about financial paperwork, and the same thing that she likes so much is the thing that gives me the heebie-jeebies. So I realized that I can't do it all, and I shouldn't feel embarrassed about the fact that I can't do it all. And if I'm lousy at paperwork, instead of going into aversion mode, I should just find a hero. Next slide, please. I need help. That's what I learned. I need to get help. I need to hire an accountant. I need to get help setting up a website and other financial meetings. And my dislike of advertising, I just need to get over it. Next slide. So what I learned from this course, I have learned that I need help. I can't do it all. I have to find an accountant. I have to find someone who can help me learn QuickBooks, because I'm computer phobic, and I know that if I just buy the thing and sit down with it, I won't be able to make myself do it, so I have to make myself do it. And I need help doing this. My son's girlfriend is a graphic designer. She's helping me with a new farm logo. She's going to help me with a website. I need help doing these things because I can't do them myself, and I just have to admit that I have to have help to do it. Next one. Next slide. Lastly, but not least, is within the holistic goal, I realized how much all along my holistic goal is that my animals live really good lives. And we've tried to do that for years, but getting ourselves animal welfare approved would be a great way of formalizing that. They would force us to keep better records. We would be able to take what we've always been doing and do a better job with it. There are a lot of hurdles to jump with this. For example, they want your animals to only be slaughtered in a federally inspected slaughter facility, because that's more humane, because they use a captive bolt gun. We don't have a federally inspected slaughter facility here that we can use, and so I don't know what they do if you don't have these things available to you. I'm just going to have to call them up and find out how close I am, and what we can do to maybe change some of the things that they have as absolutes. But the advantage to getting animal welfare approved is that they advertise. They have their own program that they use to promote their farmers, and so I can key into their advertising, and I don't have to do so much of it myself. Next one, please. So that's it. That's my future plans. I will be getting my financials and my record-keeping system in order by hiring somebody to help me, by finding the Dread Pirate Robert and a hired gun, in this case a sword, to slash through these piles of mess that I make and try to make them better. I need to improve on my marketing by using social media, and I need to follow my holistic goals and get our farm animal welfare approved. And I think that's it.
Thank you so much, Janice. I am so sorry you had so much trouble getting in, and I know you have to run off now, but I really appreciate it.
I can stay for exactly 4 minutes.
Okay.
Anybody has specific questions.
Okay, well, we'll move on to that. Are there, we were going to go to have other classmates share, but I'm sorry we've ran out of time. I know that there are several of you that have learned things, and I'm definitely sharing what you sent me to all the other instructors, and we really are glad to know that you've got so much out of the course. And I appreciate your both Dawn and Audra were going to tell us a little bit more, but I think we're going to have to skip that, and I apologize. So we have a couple minutes for questions, and then we're going to wrap it up. I don't really want to make this last much longer than 6.